guys, this one's a little bit different because I feel like I gotta actually show you what's going on here. Now, just finished football, just finished my run, gotta get this done quick where I can try to catch the end of the volleyball game, which hopefully we'll be winning by now. So, circular motion, we deal with circles. So, whoa, that's a bit big for my circle. Okay, it's gonna make lots of circles. So let's get rid of this, and let's pull this one down. Now when we're looking at a circle, we're looking at motion that's going around the circle. Now we can go around the circle at the same speed the entire time, but just because we're at the same speed does not mean we have the same velocity. So let's say something is going around the circle at 1.4 meters per second. That means the entire time it's going around the circle, its speed is 1.4 meters per second. But it does not have the same velocity. Its velocity varies. Its velocity is never the same more than one instant to the next, and sorry I got so close, left my papers to remind me, because it's constantly accelerating. Now, which way is it constantly accelerating? It's constantly accelerating, I'm going to use the red for accelerating, towards the center, red for accelerating, towards the center of the circle. And at each instant, its velocity is perpendicular to its acceleration. So, the entire time, the velocity is wanting to go straight ahead, but something is pulling it towards the center of the circle. Now, we can actually calculate some values in there. We can figure out if this is our acceleration, this is how big the circle is going to be. Or if this is how big of a circle it is doing at this speed, this is the acceleration it has to be. It's a little simpler than projectile motion because it's not, hey, we got vertical and horizontal and we got to do all this stuff. It's a circle. We have a few values we know for a circle. And the only real relationship we have for this is AC, that's acceleration to the center of the circle, is equal to velocity squared over r, where r is the radius of the circle. So, if we have a really small circle, we're going to have, if we have a really small circle and our velocity is not really low, our acceleration has to be really high. The higher our acceleration is, the higher our velocity is, same radius. It's this relationship. So tomorrow, we're going to get in here and we're going to actually do some more math this stuff. Today, I'm going to give you one or two examples that we're going to get here. Tomorrow in class, we'll have a lot to do, and we'll continue with more projectile motion. I know you guys are super psyched about that. So looking at a circle, we have a circle with a radius of 1.4 meters. Is that a big circle? Not the grand scheme of things. The velocity of the object, let's keep it simple, going around the circle is 0.25 meters. What is the acceleration? So we go back and we know acceleration to the circle equals velocity squared over radius. So what's my velocity? Velocity is 0.25 meters, meters per second. There we go. As I said, it's been a rough day. So we have radius of 1.4, velocity 0.25, 0.25 squared divided by 1.4. That tells me my acceleration is really slow. my acceleration is 0.0446 meters per second squared. That's really slow. That's acceleration so slow you probably are not going to even feel it. Now, if we want to look at something else, let's look at one more. So, the space station. Has an acceleration of 9.8 meters per second squared. We know that's acceleration because what's holding it in orbit? Gravity. So its acceleration to the middle of the circle is the acceleration of gravity. Within several thousand kilometers of Earth, gravity stays the same. We'll get into how gravity varies later on. We don't want to get too far yet. 9.8 meters per second squared. It has a speed of 1,000 meters per second. So how big is the circle? How far from the center of the Earth is it? So we're trying to find the radius. So here we're going to have 9.8 meters per second squared equals 1,000 meters per second squared over r. So we rearrange this and we end up with r equals 1,000, or actually 1,000,000, let's go ahead and square it, over 9.8. So it is 102,040 meters from the center of the Earth. So it's only 102 kilometers up. When you really look at the grand scheme of things, that's not that far. Okay? We'll pick up with more practice on this and more kind of introduction to this tomorrow. So this is your video for tonight, and we are done.